Hi, this is Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl in Nederland, Texas. Today we have a fun Father's Day t-shirt tutorial, but we're also going to go over some basics on how to make sure your vinyl's adhered and things like that as well. The kit for this will be available on the website as well as the SVG if you're interested in either one of those. Now, to go ahead and get things started, I'm going to go over the items that you're going to need to be able to complete this tutorial. First, you will need your t-shirt, which we are going to be using a Bella and Canvas in the heather gray. You will need your t-shirt guide or some way to line up your shirt, your heat press or an iron, teflon sheet, a pick, and your design cut. Now I have my design cut in the Caesar Easy Weed Black and the Caesar Easy Weed Electric Red. I wanted to do something a little bit more fun for this tutorial. And so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the excess off of our black layer, which is our base layer. So as you can see, this removes very, very easily. I don't do a whole lot with the basic colors, so I figured this might be something kind of fun to play with. And again, with Father's Day coming up in just a couple of weeks, I figured this would be a good gift as well. But as you can see, this weed's super easy. So, now our black layer is done. So there, as you can see, I'm gonna set that to the side. That is what our base layer looks like. And then we'll go ahead and weed the electric red. Now, I love the electric red because it has a little bit of something to it versus being just plain old Jane red. But it's not glitter because most men, not saying all, won't wear glitter. But they're not completely against anything shiny. So, or at least that's how my husband is. He will not do anything that has anything to do with glitter, so. But it's probably because my house is completely and utterly covered in glitter. It looks like we murder fairies in there because there's so much glitter all the time on the walls, in the grout of the floor, because we have tiles, so you can never get that completely up. So there we go. And then this is what our electric red layer looks like. Now I'm gonna come in. Okay, so now you can see the top of my heat press, and I'm going to take and load my t-shirt on. Now, if you do not have a heat press that you can load it on like this, you can still just lay it over the top, and you still do your layout to make sure everything's centered the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and I'm going to load it on completely because the less fabric in between, the better. And what I do is I pull this where my collar is right off the edge and my shoulder seams are right off the edge. Now I'm going to take my handy dandy t-shirt guide, and what I do is I lay it right up here where it is equal on both of the top two corners. That's how you know you've got your perfectly straight line. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my black base layer and I'm going to fold it in half away from each other. So as you can see, the sticky part is facing towards me and the non-sticky part is what I'm folding together. So now as you can see, there's a nice crease mark to tell me where center is. Now I'm going to pull this on to my handy dandy t-shirt guide and line that crease mark up right there with the center line. And you want your shirt design to start about 3 fingers or so down from the collar. We'll go ahead and remove that. And this design is set at 10.5 inches. Is a good standard size for your t-shirt design for a good full chest. Now what I'm going to do is I'm covering it with my Teflon sheet. I'm going to take my heat press and I'm going to, I have it set on 330 degrees at 15 seconds. But what I'm going to do is, because this is my base layer, I'm only going to do it for about 5 seconds just to get the vinyl tacked on there. So that way I can take and do my next layer. So we'll go ahead and remove the backing off of that and smooth it back down. And now we're going to grab our red layer. And we're going to take and line it up. Which, as you can see, isn't anything super difficult. What I like to do is I like to work my layers down in sections. There we go. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of issue getting it lined up, not because of the design, but because my backing is just super duper sticky, which is how it's supposed to be. It's just always something to work with. There we go. Now, as you can see, we've got that nice and lined up. So now what we're going to do is take and recover the entire thing with our Teflon sheet. And now we're going to go for the full 15 seconds. And then we will remove the clear plastic layer and then reheat again for 15 seconds. It's a great way to be able to make sure that your design is adhered properly. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and remove that clear layer. And I'm going to take and close my heat press again for the full 15 seconds. Now remember, if you like this video, go ahead and, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera, and give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Remember, if you are subscribed, that's 1 entry into the scrap box drawing. If you take and share our Facebook page and like it, that's another. Now, one of the things I'm going to go ahead and show you, we're going to look at this super close, but if you can take and tell on this fabric how you can see the texture of the shirt thread. It's a little bit easier to see on that black. That's how you know it's adhered well. So now this shirt can be thrown in the washer, it can be thrown in the dryer, and you can make sure whether you're doing this with a home iron or you're doing this with a heat press, you will know that it is adhered whenever you have that texture showing through. Because these types of shirts, or any type of shirt, when you're doing heat transfer on it, it is not just about the heat, it is about the heat and the pressure. And a lot of times when you have problems with it wanting to come off, it has nothing to do with how hot your iron is. It's more to do with how much force the vinyl was applied with. But remember, any purchases made online or in store count for extra entries into the scrap box drawing. Again, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all those fun things. And remember, sharing is caring. Thanks, and y'all have a wonderful day.